Yo, what up guys? This is Thorsen, and here is 9 steps to make your loop station performance much better. Step 1, you need to get your output level up to 11 o'clock, around there. The input level needs to be as little as possible, so you don't want it to peak like this. And right here is really good. Step 2, you want to use global effects on your loop station to get everything to sound tight. And the first thing you do is go in memory, right here, and then you use the arrows to come over to compression. And when you get your loop station from the start, it's on -20, and you want it to be at -3. Then your sound will be much more tight. Then if you press the arrow again, you get to reverb. And it's really nice to have reverb on every track on the microphone. So it sounds more like everything is in the same room. I found out like 3 or 5% is really good. So it sounds like this. It's really like just a little bit. You can some of it you cannot even hear, but it's just quality. Step 3 is to get every track on free mode. And what you do is you go in edit mode on track 1, and then you press it until you come to measures. And when you get the loop station from the start, it says auto, and that means that the first thing you record in the loop station is gonna be the same measure on all the other tracks, and you don't want that. You want to have freedom to do all the creativity you want, so you put this on free, and then you press on edit, and it will be automatically on the same thing, and you can do the same thing with every track. So like this. If I record like a beat like this, then I can record it double as much on the other track, like. And it will not be a problem. Step 4 is clearing tracks as fast as possible. And for this, you need to update your loop station to 2.0. And how you do this is you go into the system and you use the arrows, and then you will get to this, and it says all clear, and you need to make it from disable to enable, and the same with this quick clear enable. And then if you make a beat, and then when you stop it, you just, instead of holding for 2 seconds, you just press 2 times, and you can clear a track really fast. The same with, you just press all start and stop, and it will clear everything automatically. And then we come to step 5, which is you want to make your effects personalized. When you get the loop station from the start, you have effects on like flanger, lo-fi, and delay, and stuff like that. And first of all, I want to talk about a really specific effect, which is called dynamic, and you can find it in here. There it is. You can go in and press the arrow, and then you come in to its effects and its type, for example, on this effect. And then you have a lot of different compressors. And I use this effect to make my beatboxing sound as loud as possible. And I found out that live compression is the best one. And you can hear the difference here, like this is without, and this is with. First of all, it's all about finding every instrument. And if you're thinking, okay, I want drums. Okay, I want drums on track 1. Then you're need this the dynamics already. You have that already, so it's like. Then for the most of the times you want bass, and you can find this effect called guitar to bass, and it just octaves your own voice, so you can be like. And for high melodies, I use reverb, and it's the last effect, and you can make yourself sound like this, and then you can go in on the arrows, and you can switch it up. You can switch the time up, and you can go in here, switch the direct level, which is the effect you're putting in the mic, and the effect level, which is the effect itself. And then you can use like your siren sound, and you can be like. Right. And now when you have the input effects, right, as you want it, you can go in and you can choose track effects A. First of all, a really popular effect is a filter, and if I record a beat, it will sound like this. And here you can personalize this effect too. So you can, what I do and how I find out to make it sound really good, you just crank the rate down and crank depths down. And the resonance needs to be like at 13. And then it's much more tighter, and it doesn't make it doesn't peak, and it doesn't sound too distorted. Then when you have this one, you can go on B, and then an effect I use a lot is beat scattering. And there is 4 different parts of it. There is part 1, which sounds like this. And there is part 2. I use part 4 a lot, which sounds like this. And then we have part 7, which is really easy thing. You just go in on every track, and you find this called panning. And what it basically do is it takes every sound, every track, and put it on the right side, on the left side, and it's good to make a good mix for a track. So if you have drums on the first one, and you have bass for the second one, and you have like a violin. Then you can use, if it feels like every effect is like, the whole track is like too crumbly or too muddy, then you can use panning to make it sound more tight. So you have these 2 effects, and you just pan them out. And it sounds like this. And then we have the last part, which is about making patches. When you feel like it's like ready to make everything you want, then you can go in and you can press write it, and then press again. Then you have it the same patch every time you go in. And this is on 4, so then you gotta remember where it is. And a good way to remember it is to go and call it something. So you go in memory, and then you go for the left arrow, and then you can go in and call it something like banger or something. Like this. Okay, for this one we just call it bang memory, right? So this is how I set up my loop station. I hope that my tips has been useful, and I hope that you can make some crazy beats with your loop station in the future, and I'll see you.